Hi everyone, it's Dragana from Saacibo. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share this with you. It's been a while since I've done a video on making charms and I think these are so adorable. They're perfect little decorations for sewing or fashion journals. And I basically used some scraps apart from the charms that I bought, but the rest is just whatever I had. As you can see, scrapbooking paper, just some recycled cardstock, even cardboard, and little strips of fabric. You really don't need much, just to wrap around a few times, and some buttons. So today I want to show you how you can make these. I just want to mention this. When I was making these, you can probably tell, I used dies such as this one and my Sizzix. If you want to do it that way, you certainly can. That's what I've been doing here. I left the link for these dies in the description box below. I got them on AliExpress a few years ago and I checked this morning and they still had them in the shop. Okay, you might have different shapes, that's fine. I used only the smallest one for these, and these are 2 inches by 1 inch. Okay, so they're tiny. Today I'm going to be making these just a little bit different. I'm going to use my own template. You can find this template on my website in the free download section, and I'm going to be using the smallest one. I've created a full page of templates for you because it would be a shame to just print one of these, wouldn't it? And I thought maybe in one of the next videos we'll do something with the larger ones. I'm going to start by just cutting out this template. And I just want to mention, in regards to the free downloads, I've added terms and conditions of use because I had a lot of questions in regards to that. So if you go to the free downloads, at the very top of the page, there is a link to the PDF file called terms of use. Also, the ads are turned on to help me pay for the website. So please, if you by mistake click on any of the ads and they ask you for your credit card details or anything like that, please don't do that. All right, now I printed these on 250 GSM cardstock. And I said this in a previous video where I also provided some free templates. If you don't have a cardstock to print on regular copy paper, thin one, and then glue it onto some cardstock, for example onto some packaging, and then cut it. That way you will have a proper template. Okay, let's just cut this one out. All right, there is my template. I will just punch a hole here. Okay, it's a little bit bigger than that, but that's all right. I don't know if you remember, sometime last year we've done a video on recycled packaging that we turned into various ephemera, and I have quite a lot of these left. If you would like to know how I've done this and you haven't seen the video, I will leave the link down below. It's about recycled packaging. We basically painted very quickly on the other side of these. This is from a tea, as you can see. That's all packaging that we split open and used to paint. So I would like to make a few with these because I want a bit of that grungy look. If you don't have time to do that, just use whatever packaging you can find, and I'll make a few of these as well. Most likely you'll be able to find at least one section of the packaging that's kind of interesting. For example, if I want the red one, I would just do that, or maybe the orange one, and then we can also distress it a bit further. It doesn't have to be in one color. You can do the part where the text is. I found this from these chocolates and it has really interesting design here. Then I found this one from the roses, this part here. I don't know if you can see, it's got really lovely kind of design, and even here where the roses are, could probably do something like that. And then I found this one. It's got lovely pink color here and a gorgeous like silver color here. If you don't want to use the recycled packaging and you have some scrapbooking paper perhaps left, it's quite thin, and even if I double it up, it's not going to be enough. I think I would still have to add another layer of cardstock or packaging in between. So you can do that. You can also use just old book pages. We're gonna make at least one of each, just so that you can see the difference in the final result. With book pages, the same applies as with these. You would still have to glue them onto a cardstock, because book pages on their own are just not enough to create charms like these. I picked up those two pieces, that one, that, and I'm gonna make one of each. So the first thing we need to do is glue the pieces together. Now here I will probably just cut like that and then glue this to that. Okay. Nice. Okay, over here as well, I'm just using this as a guide. Maybe this part here. Now with this one, I'm not going to glue it onto that side. It might show. I'm just going to glue it onto here. You can use glue stick for this, or white glue, anything you have. I'm just using Magic Fix because it's affordable and reliable, and you can buy it here almost any craft shop. Okay. So just going to leave that for a while. With this one, I also need a piece of cardstock in between. Okay, that's again from a T. I'll just cut it like this, and I'll glue one side here. So make sure they're in the same direction. And I'm going to let that dry. I might as well glue all of these. I've been wanting to make like a sewing or fashion journal for so long. It's been about 3 years since I've done one. But what can I say? I was so inspired by nature lately that I forgot about everything else that I also liked. Alright, so this one. I'll just cut off these. Don't need it that high. Just stack them up like this. Put a book on top to flatten them a little bit. I'm just going to let that dry for a few minutes. And while that is drying, I just want to show you something. In the previous video, we made stamps with templates, and we made some leaf, flower and butterfly stamps. And at the very end of the video, I created some papers with those stamps. So what's new is that I applied coffee over so that it's not so white, and I painted the other side with just acrylic paint, and I turned them into those large envelopes again. And I really like them. This one as well. Okay, just added coffee on top, and because I used permanent inks, these two were fine. After adding coffee, none of the ink dissolved. Everything stayed the same. Here I've added some book pages because I ripped it, and I painted the inside with just acrylic paint and some stencil work. I really like them. Now with this one, once I've added coffee, the ink dissolved because I used Distress Oxides. I didn't use permanent ink. It made the colors even better. It was really strong and saturated color that I wasn't really that fond of, and coffee made it really soft and pastel-y. And what I did in the end, I just used some plain lead pencil to do some line work, and I added some gold dots in the middle. Looked even better, and I just painted the inside with a bit of gold paint, but you can still see the paper underneath. All right, and I also used some of these stamps on those napkin papers that we made with starch in one of the previous videos, and I also turned those into those large envelopes. And I love this one. This must be my favorite. I used all the leaf stamps, and because the paper was really rough, it wasn't really a clean and flat print, but I love it even more because it looked really as if I painted these on top, and that was the inside. Oops. Okay. So I'm very happy with how the stamps turned, and I hope you got a chance to make some yourself. All right, I think that's enough. Let's cut this one like this. All right. And now we have to glue those two together. I'm going to put the book over. Now we need to trace and cut these. You do that as you would do with any other template. Okay, I'm going to use pencil so that I can erase pencil marks if I don't cut it perfectly. And honestly, I don't aim for perfection. If I was using Sizzix and dies, it would have been perfect, but with these ones, I want to make them look like they were handmade from start, so I'm not going to worry about cutting it perfectly. I'll just do the best I can. So just like that here. So we'll cut that one first. Now this part is a little bit tricky to cut. You could use your ruler and a knife, because it's very thick and my scissors just can't get there. Gonna fix it like this. Good. I'm gonna punch here, but I'm gonna use a smaller one, smaller than this. And I'm gonna erase pencil marks, and I'm going to use this sanding block. Just going to use a little bit of ground espresso permanent ink, just a little bit around the edges. Normally when I make charms like this, I seal the surface with acrylic varnish or even clear nail polish, but with these ones I don't think I'm going to do that because I don't really want them shiny. You can also use gel matte, acrylic gel matte medium, but I think I'm going to leave them just like that. I'm not going to worry about varnish. It's just a journal decoration. It's not going to be worn. So I think really it's not necessary to add anything on top. Okay, so I'm going to quickly cut all of these. That one, and then I will be back. I've cut them, punched holes, and erased pencil marks. So now I'm just going to use this to just tidy up, just like I did with the first one. Okay, that one's done. So these would be the same. I just want to show you with this one, because it's so shiny, I want to sand all over, something like this, just to make it a little bit more grungy. Okay, a little bit in one direction and a little bit on the other, like a brushed metal kind of thing. This technique works really well on dark paper because we're gonna add some gilding wax on top, and it will appear as if it was metal. I'll just quickly sand these as well and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm done with the sanding. So now I need to ink these. Again, I'm going to use this brown ink, ground espresso, and I'm just going to go around. I like this one with text. It's a little bit wonky here, but that's all right. It adds to character. Okay, now with the dark one, I'm going to use this gilding wax, which is old gold, finger wax or gilding wax, any brand. I have this dark background and I sanded it well, so that the parts that I sanded should take this gilding wax more, and I'm hoping it's gonna look like metal. I'm very happy with that one. All right, now that we sorted that out, now we have to pick the fabric that we want to wrap around. I've used a little bit of hot glue to secure everything. You can use perhaps silicone glue or even double-sided tape. Now for fabric, you can use, if you have pieces of lace, if you have strips of fabric that you tore yourself, you don't need much. Even just a little bit is enough. For example, I could use this. This is leftover piece from eco-dyed fabric, and could use that. And that's all you need basically. I'll just cut that. So that is the amount you need. Then you wrap it from one end like that. You go around once and then here. So you basically have just 2 times on each side, and that's plenty. You can go more, of course, if you wanted to. Nothing stopping you from that. So I'm gonna use that fabric there. It just looks really good on that one. Okay, let's see, what else do I have? I think the white would look really nice here, so I need that much. Just like that. It is a bit wide, so I'm just going to have to make it a bit thinner. Oops. You can also just cut it if you like straight edge. Like I said, I wanted these a little bit grungy, so I'm going to go with that. Okay, I've got this fabric. I know that it's not going to be easy to rip, so I'm just going to cut it. Don't need this end. I think that one would look good there. Found this piece of lace. I think that would look good there. And for this one, I'm thinking maybe the white one would look good there and here, because it's really like the right look. Looks like wood. Maybe I can use that. Okay, so I start from just applying a little bit, a few dots of glue. Okay, and then I just place that, and then you go around, and then here again just a little bit, and not too thick. That's it. That one. This is a nice blue color. Right. I'll just trim this one a little bit. Few dots. Good. So this one is going here. This is really a great way to use up your fabric scraps as well. And this is a bit too long, so I'll probably just cut it a little bit. They're already looking cute, aren't they? I'm gonna let it like this. I'm not gonna trim it. Okay, can be like that halfway. Cool. And now this one. isn't it? I'll trim it here. They're looking cute, and I think I like them better than the ones that I used die cuts on. I don't know. I really want them grungy. Now the next step is to decide what you want as decorations. I had buttons here. I also have more of the charms that might look interesting if I have them there. Like I have these handmade with love as well. Have a sewing machine one. Oh, but it's a bit big. It would have to be down. I don't know. Now I have these ones, so you can just do that straight on top. I'll just take one out. I've been adding jump rings, these ones, because sometimes when you use just these bulb pins and you place that inside of the journal, then the whole thing, it just doesn't sit right for whatever reason. So I think I'm gonna do the same in this case. I'm gonna add jump rings, and yeah, I've got these like safety pins too. You can also decorate the front with those and maybe add some buttons. Let's find some buttons. All right, I had a look at my stash and I found a few that I think might work well with this. So I think this one would work well there. The pink one here. I don't know, I think that one, the wooden one in the shape of a heart, would look good there. I also have this one. Perhaps it's a bit big, so I don't think I will. This is hard. This is the most difficult thing, choosing the right button. I think that one there definitely should speed this up. I think white one there. I think this one would look good there. You want to have at least enough of contrast. All right, so I was basically just putting a little bit of hot glue and then attaching the button like that. Just like that. I wasn't even adding thread or anything. Oh, they're so cute. And the lucky last. Okay, so now I need to punch these holes down the bottom. This is of course optional. You don't have to put the charms down the bottom. You can just add these on top and be done with it. But I want to play a bit longer before I start cooking and all of that. Okay. All right. Punch those holes. Now installing the jump rings. I think I've shown this many times in previous videos, but in case you haven't seen, I will show you again. You take the jump ring with one set of pliers and you twist it like that. You don't open it like this, you just twist and you put it where it's supposed to go, and then you just bring them together. You can go a bit further and then come back, and that is it. So now I'm going to do that with all of these and then I will be back. And in case you're wondering, these are 6mm jump rings. Okay. All right, I've attached the top bit, so that is done. When we attach jump rings to the bottom, we have to pick the charm as well, because we're going to add the charm and the jump ring at the same time. So now I have to decide which charm to put where. I think the bow looks kind of good there. I think here as well. I've got two scissors there, and these hearts. I think like that. Anyway, so now you take the jump ring again, you split it open like that, you take the charm, put it in, and then you take your other charm, little tag, and you close it, and that is it. Take that, and it's done. Let's do the same with the rest. Okay, I've attached all the charms, all the little metal charms, and now it's just a matter of adding these pins. Oh, I love that one. Let's take a look at this one. Isn't it cute? Shown you this one already. I love this one. This really looks like metal. Okay. That one is awesome as well. Love these colors. Okay. And the pink one. Good. Let's try some in an actual project. I have these two pouches or envelopes. I was actually going to do a video on this today, but then I changed my mind. I've been making them with napkin paper, just like a little envelope to place either some papers or some fabric samples that you might want to send to someone. Okay, and I'm thinking now here, I think this one, which one would look good here? Maybe that one. Should we put the pink one here? Or maybe that one? I think this one. Otherwise it's too pink. So we just take this and we attach it there. Something like that. And here. I am so happy with these little charms. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it was inspirational. You can make these in no time and really great way to use up your scraps. Not just paper but also fabric and cardstock and packaging. And if you happen to have some cute charms, why not use them? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope I see you soon in my next video. Bye for now.